Let me quickly show you what you're gonna do as soon as you're starting to feel a noticeable improvement on level 1 of knee ability. Level 1 of knee ability is just to get out of that pain-free zone and get some progress. The sled is used to warm, and then the Patrick step up, which you can start as low as possible, is the safest way to start training your knee over your toe. And then the KOT squat, we're now trying to reach those knees as far as we can over the toes. That directly progresses once you're getting better at those. You need to get an actual distinguished change and improvement on these. And then ideally, you know if you're ready for level 2, if you can get into ATG split squat pain-free. Getting into ATG split squat pain-free, on average, people start at about a 9-inch box. I'm just showing you on average. This is based on your mobility, and as you get better, you go lower. Back foot's on the toes, front foot's flat. Now, as opposed to the KOT squat where you're just reaching your knees over your toes, this is now the farthest you can possibly get your leg to bend. So if we look with the sled, we're warming, Patrick step up, gradually knees over toes. KOT squat, knees as far as we can over the toes. Now we're actually taking that joint through a full range of motion. And this is gonna be one leg at a time, always staying on the tippy toes, covering the calves with the hamstrings, no daylight through those calves, back knee not touching the floor, which would be avoiding the hip flexor stretch, but in our case, for the knees, avoiding actually handling that pressure. So you see the difference here. Let's watch that a few times. This is why it's important to actually do the split squat properly. As you get more flexible, you'd work down and down and down. Don't expect your knees to be protected until you're getting flat ground without the back knee touching the floor. With 25%, you'll load this with dumbbells, 25% of your body weight each hand, you should be able to do 10 reps flat ground, cold, no warm-up needed. Don't expect to have protected knees until you can do that. That's a baseline of protected knees. And now, we're doing things in reverse. So now you start your workout with ATG split squat. If you can't do this pain-free to start your workout, you need more of 1.0. So you would start here, then you would go to the Poliquin step up, which is now the hardest isolation for those knee tendons. The Poliquin step up means you're elevating your heel. You can do that with a yoga block, a bumper plate, whatever. This is a portable board that our guy Derek made, which we use here. The toes turn slightly out so the weight's on the big toe, and then you're stepping just like your Patrick step up. The progression from Patrick step up to this is gonna be very easy since you've already done so many. The difference you'll notice is that it's harder to hold that extended position because all your weight's on the ball of your foot. And then if you notice, my knee has to go way over my toes. So to do it here, you can see that my knee really has to go over my toes, and it keeps that pressure through here, which will be absorbed by the VMO. Like any step up, if you couldn't do that pain-free, you could always start lower. But if you're doing 2.0, you should be able to do a 3-inch box with your heel elevated about 45 degrees, pain-free. So that's the main progression. And now we're using the sled, we're now using as a finisher to flush things out and recover. And now we're not training every day, we're actually training every other day now. And our body's in a better state of flexibility, so now we can just do our workout, and then on the next day, the days in between, we can relax and stretch. So this is Knee Ability 2.0. If you've put in the work on 1.0, you are at a magical point where if you're willing to put in the work here, you can make so much change and never get into knee pain again. But let me write this in, well, I don't have a black marker around, so I'll make it really clear, and it's probably redundant because Connor will probably link this in, but 25% per hand, flat ground, 10 reps on your ATG split squat. That is a baseline that you'll start to see that those same activities out in life that used to hurt your knee will not get to you anymore. And then Poliquin step up, 3-inch box, heel elevated 45 degree. Got to be able to put your body weight on there and get 10 reps. So, whereas in level 1, we're really just trying to get out of the pain-free zone. You don't have to stress too much about the weights in here. We're trying to get you out of pain-free. You are trying to get like a real change in strength on both of those exercises. But the sooner we can be getting into this pain-free, the better. And we can start the bulletproofing process in 2.0. I'll see you in the gym.